Hi, my name is Sean from SWS Recordings, and today on Musician Quick Tips, I'm going to be talking about different kinds of release schedules that you can do and see which one works best for you and where you're at in your music career. When music was first getting popular and being released, what was really the way to get your music out there was singles, A-side and B-side of a 45. That's what jukeboxes took. That's how you got your music out there in the bars and clubs, people to listen to and jam and party. Singles was the release, and a lot of them were singles of cover songs. Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, they both released a bunch of single cover songs. The Beatles' first album was all cover songs. That's just a great way to get attention from people who already know the song and can hear a unique spin on it, and there's already an audience looking for that piece of music. It's a good way to get attention. As time went on, the album became a lot more popular. One big release every year or two. And this was great because a lot of the music at the time was pushed by record companies. They could do that. There wasn't a lot of competition. There was a lot of great music, but a lot less than there is now. That brings us to now. With streaming and online music distribution, there's so much music being put there on a daily basis. It's really, really hard to get a foothold and get people to hear your music and stick around after they do. Putting so much time and effort into an album can be a little disheartening when it doesn't get a lot of views because it's just one single release and people listen to it. But as time goes on, you don't have anything new. A lot of new music comes out. Their attention changes because we have shorter attention spans. And you kind of get forgotten over the next 2 years while you work on your next big album. Now, of course, there's always going to be super fans who really fell in love with your story, your emotions, your lyrics behind these songs that really speak to them in their lives, and they'll listen to it for years, decades even, for as long as they live because they just love what you do. But that's not everyone. That's not a majority of them. And until you have a large enough fan base where you're more likely to find people like that and speak to people like that, maybe releasing a full-fledged album isn't the best thing to do. Maybe releasing a bunch of singles, going back to the beginning, doing a couple original singles followed by a couple of covers, posted on like TikTok or YouTube to build an audience. And then when you have a lot of people to push, you can push your new original music too, because they already like what you create, all these covers that they're already looking for this music to begin with. And when you do release an album, you have more of a chance to hit those lifelong fans. So releasing singles is a great way to have consistent uploads, to keep people's attention, to keep yourself top of mind, and more importantly, build more fans. People will be hyped for your next release if they know every other Tuesday there will be a new song from their new favorite artist, or every month there'll be a new song from the new favorite artist. Just being able to stay consistent and create new stuff and new music for people to listen to, that is a great way to build. Another thing you can do is you can just release a couple of EPs. If you release 2 EPs a year, like 3, 4, 5 songs, and then after a couple of years, compile the best songs from these EPs and make an album of the best, re-record, remix, remaster as you learn how to make better music and where to go to get your music to sound how you want it to, make a finalized, polished product at the end. That's when an album can really be powerful because you have these battle-tested songs that you know people enjoy, and you have a following for, and they'll be excited to hear a new version of it. Now, maybe you just love the idea of an album. Maybe you want to get it pressed to vinyl and or given to CDs and be able to tour around and have a lot of people, just like people like it and be able to sell it and be able to push out as one big, collective, concise unit, as one complete story. You can do that and use some singles too. If you release 1, 2, 3 singles beforehand, like every other month, that are going to be part of the album, and build hype, put a story behind it, release a couple posts about it to get people's attention. So when you do drop the whole album, you already have some buzz. That's a great way to do it too. Depending on where you're at in your music career will dictate which option is the best for you. I'm not going to say which one's the best. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of different ways to think about it. I get contacted by quite a bit of musicians who are starting off for the first time and are like, yeah, I've been working on it for years. This is my first album. I've never released music before and I want to go big. And great, that's awesome. If that's your dream, do it. But step back, be objective a little bit, look at it from a different angle and think, okay, what's the best way to get my music heard? And is this really it. It might be best to release a single every month from the album. If you have 12 songs in your album, that's a year's worth of songs. That's a year's worth of consistent uploads to keep people's attention, keep you top of mind, and give you more time to write new music and still have things for people to listen to. So just think about it a little bit. There's a lot more ways than you can do than an EP or an album, or in a singles. You can mix them together, do more than one. Hopefully my little rant was helpful. Hopefully you got something from this and have a clear idea on how you're going to release your music moving forward. If you have any questions or want to talk to me about more specifics, contact me. I'd love to talk to you. And if you have any other questions you want me to cover in a future video, leave a comment down below and I will be happy to answer it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I look forward to hearing your music.